All right, welcome to the latest edition of the FPL America podcast. This is David Smith.
Travis Hoig.
Brian Chesko.
Gentlemen, we are loaded
Fully
with
loaded.
information, fully loaded with so much to discuss as we are getting into the business end of the season in the Premier League and your fantasy leagues. Brian, there's so much to discuss.
None of the rest of the season mattered before this.
Podcast title, Oversell, Underdeliver.
Yes, absolutely.
It's every episode.
Before we get into that,
Should we change the name? FPL, Oversell, Underdeliver?
Oh,
That's
wow.
too long. It's too many characters.
It's a lot. Travis, number one, I want to congratulate you on getting half of your driveway somewhat clean.
Well, as we established.
As I jaded you last week for not being a true Norseman and letting the elements whip you.
They did it. Time just got away from me, man.
2 weeks ago, we had
I did it
a
tonight.
snow and sleet storm.
I did it tonight.
Okay.
And as we have established before we started recording, you're really old.
It's facts.
I was kind of worried about you.
Well, I appreciate it.
Because I didn't want to, see on my
Yeah.
doorbell camera, Dave on the ground yelling,
No.
"I've fallen and I can't get up."
That's true. If only this generation was old enough to get that. Unfortunately, that would be fantastic. So, Travis, congratulations on doing at minimum half of your driveway.
You're
so
welcome.
that your wife and kids can actually not break their necks getting to their vehicle, and you can actually pull your vehicle up somewhat close to your house. Also, we should discuss, it was a derby in the middle school girls basketball world tonight
Isn't it always?
Every night.
as Brian's daughter and my daughter went head to head in the arena on the basketball court. This is not a middle school girls basketball podcast.
Still.
But just as an update, the Lynchburg Patriots played the New Covenant Griffins. Griffins won. Brian's daughter's team, they won the reverse fixture
That's right.
earlier in the season, 26-16. They kind of dominated the game, were more aggressive and more physical, and they came to the Patriots' home court tonight. Unfortunately, I missed it because I was running a practice at a different facility, but I get done and I'm going to my phone, and the game's not over yet, but it's close. My wife has texted me, "I can't believe you're not here." I mean, she knew where I was. I was coaching a basketball practice.
Wasn't a mystery.
Where are you?
Not like you should have been there.
She goes,
you just weren't. Right?
The next text after that was, "This game is amazing." The next text after that was, "The girls have never played better. This game is awesome." And so I call her as I'm getting in the vehicle, as I'm trying to race out, and she updates me and tells me it's 29-27 with 5 seconds left. We have to inbound the ball and then hopefully run out the clock, just not turn the ball over, inbounding the ball as we're underneath the Griffins' goal. And so I guess we were able to do that and then successfully run out the clock. But as Brian was updating me as he was there, that it was a close game the entire way, and both of our daughters were playing. And so it was a barn burner. Great atmosphere.
Came down to the last possession, essentially, and also it was a perfect example of why anyone who willingly chooses to be a referee at any level is a psychotic.
Yeah, it's insane.
The idea that you choose to go into doing that of your own volition, it can't be worth it. It can't be worth it at any level.
Right. No,
so
I get it.
Credit to anyone who wears the stripes.
Sure.
If you actually put that shirt on, you either are so crazy you don't know really what's going on anywhere in reality, or you are so brave that we should be awarding you some sort of medal.
Fair enough.
Performer.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I hate that I missed that, but I needed to say that. My daughter was soul crushed because usually someone is recording the game, and she was so pumped because they were able to avenge their loss, and I guess she played well. She tells me that in the first quarter, Brian, I don't know if you know this, she runs over to the bench and says, like, it's like a minute into the game, she's like, I gotta come out. Like, she was like holding her nose and mouth. She sprints to the bathroom. So the coach just subs her out. I don't even know if it was a legal sub. From what it sounded like to me, it turned into a hockey sub where there was just a change of
I think we need to report this
of personnel. I don't even know if there was an official.
Be right.
I don't know if there was an official check-in.
She wasn't there. He doesn't know.
She sprints off the court, goes right to the bathroom, absolutely pukes. Just pukes. I don't know if it was nervous or whatever.
I'm sure your daughter's going to really appreciate all this information.
Subbed back in, and that immediately. I think this was a proper sub when she came back in. It wasn't a hockey sub, and excuse me. And anyways, I think she was in for most of the game after that, but that was her first puking game. That's the first time that's ever happened. And she's not sick.
Passage.
I think it was just nerves, and she was amped up for the game, and next thing you know, she had to yak. So usually, though, when you're in games like that, you perform well.
The trade-off of the illegal sub is that there was no barf on the floor. so as much as I would...
She couldn't make it to the toilet. She said she barfed in the sink.
Oh,
gross.
Chunky. All right, well...
All right. Enough of nonsense. Let's get into real things that people actually care about. The Premier League was in full stretch this weekend. Arsenal got a win. Chelsea won. Liverpool won. Villa lost. And City got a draw, just touching on some of the top teams. And United continued their on-fire business, even though it was against Fulham. But they pulled it off at the end. So we have tons to discuss. Gentlemen, we will start with Travis, smart and stupid.
Fulham catching a stray.
Fulham.
They're good.
Fulham?
Yeah.
I know they are.
Yeah.
For sure. Listen, United's... Look, they went back-to-back games. They beat City. They beat Arsenal. Like, I hate to do it, but Michael Carrick has changed the mood of the locker room, and they've gone back to basics. And I think Carrick just said, hey, we're going back to a back four. Everyone knows how to play that. We're not going to try to figure out this 3-4-3 thing anymore. And we're going to a back four and go play. We have a lot of talent. Go play. And they seem to be doing that pretty consistently. Yeah. So kudos to United.
Really great rundown of it and what Michael Carrick has done, and a really nice write-up about Manchester United's recent success again in the Athletic. Free article today or yesterday, one of them, I think. But it was a really nice.
I have not seen that.
Really, just
sounds like
one of the reasons why they are like it's. I just keep thinking it's as a neutral, finding no hate in my heart for Manchester United, that it's fun.
Change that.
It's fun when they're good, because it just raises the temperature of everyone, because everyone wants them to suck, and now that they're good, there's a new reason to hate again.
Yeah.
So it legitimizes whatever
they have players now that are finally starting to be fantasy relevant. I mean, one of them has been fantasy relevant.
But also, and that's exactly it. They are as a team fantasy relevant, because a 2-0 game ends, or a game that looks like it's
done,
not done, but out of reach. At 2-0 turns into 3-2 with a last second goal. The way that it was written about them in the Athletic was basically that all of the as good as they were, with all of the belief that they were playing with, and tactically how great they were to get to 2-0, they were equally butterfingers in losing that lead.
Yeah.
So great, perfect fantasy formula. There's no more fun, not a fantasy American football podcast, but there is no more fun team than low defense, high offense. I mean, that's what you want all the time. That's all you want for fantasy. And so the one bright spot for FPL is whenever occasionally there's some goal scoring that's beyond what you...
No, for sure. Look.
Low blocks here.
In a game where United was in somewhat control, and in the 85th minute, Fulham get a penalty. They score it. Jimenez scores it. Mm-hmm. And the 90+1, Kevin ties it up. Yeah. And then, which he was subbed on. He seems like that is his role, as he comes on as a sub.
Has been, yeah.
And then, Brian, your cousin.
Oh, yeah, man.
Shesko. slams one home in the 90+4.
Yeah.
So
great turn.
That's a
Nice
wild
touch.
that's a wild last
And
few
a huge
minutes
swing
of the game.
for and then the FPL relevance. I mean, that's a Bruno assist.
Yeah.
What was it?
I had Bruno captain.
Right, what was a good game for him turns into a
very
haul.
yeah.
A double-digit game. So, yeah, big deal. And so fun. Let's have more of that.
Stupid.
But as far as that, I mean, I think that has just been a general call. I think Cunha ends up being the big beneficiary of the other guys. Bumo finishes.
Bumo did not score.
Bumo does not get you anything. Lots of points lost near the end of games for defenders, because I was watching that game and I kept thinking, like, while it was going on, I'm like, man, I should have started Van Heck at Brighton over Dallo. And then while the Brighton game was on,
right,
and then that I've got Verbruggen in.
Beto gets 90+7.
Yeah, they come back 1-1, and so then I'm like, all right, well, thankfully I didn't start Van Heck. I still have a shot at Dallo doing something, and then it's the same thing. It's like 85th minute, and then there's the penalty. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! These late goals, but whatever. It was whatever. Not a great, smart, stupid. For all of the success of 2 weeks ago, last week, look, I'm going to highlight James Justin no matter what, but in this week...
well, hold on. I said this week James Justin's not the week.
Right. It was more of like just saying like, hey, there's no wrong time to buy a guy who's a starter that's 3.9, and that still holds true. However, hopefully you didn't. I think I would...
I didn't
say the same thing. I didn't say you needed to... I was only joking.
Yeah, Travis,
you had him against Arsenal, but...
Yeah, Travis, you had him in your wild card, and you buried him, right?
I mean,
2 goals conceded, subbed at halftime. I don't know if you guys know, 0 points does not help your average. So if you want your average to be above 0 points is bad.
You need a notepad around here.
There was
writing these gems down.
There was a slight concern that he was knocked, but it ended up being a bruised toe.
Yeah,
he is past fit. There is no concern about his fitness. Another stupid one, poo-pooing Joao Pedro. We were right that the
was
lap
a big
started.
One. Yeah, and
it was correct.
I watched that match. I was like, oh, good. Whew. Yeah, we called it. Look at us.
Yeah.
And then he comes on and
ultimately dumb because he can't be stopped.
Can't be stopped.
Hold on. Are you going to him?
He was more effective than Delap.
I can't do it.
If you could, would you?
Well, we need to talk about that.
I would for Thiago, not for Ekitike, which leads me to my personal, maybe worst ever call that I was spared from. Thank the maker. I did not have that extra transfer that I wished for last week to go from Ekitike to Ollie Watkins.
Oh.
Hugo Ekitike, second highest scoring, tied for second most points this past week. Gets a brace. Ollie Watkins, DNP with a phantom injury that is...
Glad they signed Abraham.
Yeah, for sure.
They needed him.
I know.
He didn't... I mean, he looked like a guy that just showed up, but...
So, anyway, no, I was willing to sacrifice the second highest scoring player of the week for a guy who did not even suit up last week. But, again... That's merciful. I was spared from that one. Somewhere in between, Jared Bowen. Look, I can only ask the questions. I can't make you make the decision, but we probably should have gone after that one harder. Matchups are still good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because the question last week, Dave, I don't know if you were here for that.
I was sleeping for that.
Was just... Is the relegation battle going to bring the best out of him? And now the answer for consecutive weeks is yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Goal, 2 bonus points, finishes with 8 points, and now he's the third most transferred in forward for the game week. So 150,000 people almost are deciding that he is good for this running, at least this stretch.
Get Holland out, get Bowen in.
Well, I mean, look, you could. It sounds ridiculous, but and we'll get to that. League Diane, we touched on it at the end of pod last week. I think we had touched on it earlier, Brian, like you said, in January 21st. But I know that I brought it up at the end of last pod. Like, should we be mentioning the fact that Holland might need to be subbed out? It was right after we went through a ton of forwards who had been doing really well, and all of them doing better than Holland in the last recent weeks. And then going into this past weekend, Holland, he does get an assist against the Spurs. Mm-hmm. What a weird game that was, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know. We can just popcorn talk about these games as they came up. I saw the worst performance from a Spurs team in my life in the first half of that game. And it was almost like they lulled City to sleep. Like, it was so easy that City was like only half trying because Tottenham was only trying a quarter. So a half try for City was good enough. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden Tottenham decided to come out and play in the second half. The game looked like City was going to win
handily.
5-0.
Yeah.
It was 2-0 at halftime. And then next thing you know, City crap away their lead, and Spurs with the most hodgepodge defense they could throw out there with all their starters gone.
Yeah.
And as much as people want to try to slam and dunk on Spurs for that first half performance, which was horrible, their second half was completely opposite. And they did it with a crew that with a bunch of misfits, sort of. I mean, guys playing in places they wouldn't normally play. So credit to Spurs. They come out. As an Arsenal fan, I love it. Villa loses inexplicably to a 10-man Brentford. And then City give up a 2-goal lead to a Spurs team that looked, I'm serious, put in the worst performance of a Spurs team for one half I've ever seen.
Yeah. Spurs now by far the most injured club in
Did someone
the top
else get
tier.
hurt in that game?
13 players currently with some sort of something. Although Dominic Solanke is on that list. Credit to Premier Injuries again. Thank you, Ben Dinnery, for all of your hard work.
He is amazing.
But Dominic Solanke is fit, but the admission from manager is essentially he's struggled to, because of his injury, like the duration of the time he's been out.
Not match
It's
fit.
been tough to play him as much as they've been, he said, forced to play him this much. So when he left, I thought because after that unbelievable goal, did you see it? You saw
yeah.
it? It was great.
It's crazy.
I'm surprised we should have led with
We
that.
should have led with
Should
that.
be
It was
Scorpion kick.
almost as good as Giroud's from years ago, but I could not believe how that. I mean, that was unbelievable.
Yeah. If only there were bigger stakes on that game. It's big stakes for City, not necessarily for Spurs, but either way. Amazing goal. When he was like limping off, I was like, "You got to be kidding me! This guy cannot catch a break." And then so I think it's like an amazing update to find out he's actually fit. It's just they don't want to be playing him as much as they have to be.
Yeah.
So remember, I jokingly even said like he's good in the Champions League. He scored a goal. What are you going to do? Buy him?
Right.
And sure enough, he ends up with both goals in the game. Like probably a top performance
him.
this week.
I'm happy for him.
Really good. And I wish there was a reason that you could trust going to him, but it just doesn't seem like it.
It does seem like Spurs have got a little bit of a windfall coming back into this week. We are looking at Jed Spence is likely to be available. Mickey Van de Ven, Christian Romero, and Dominic Solanke all have been injured and should be back this week as well. So while you are absolutely correct that they have been injury plagued, it does seem like they're key players. There's a lot more key players, but they're real key players, especially with
for sure.
Romero.
Yeah, Romero and Van de Ven.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
So,
was there any other ones? I'm sure there were lots, but was there something that you were thinking of where you were like, man, we are stupid? Or we're really smart.
The biggest one was João Pedro. That was the one that really bothered me. Just because
but we did talk about the Chelsea fixtures being really nice upcoming.
Yeah, but we definitely, qualified that with, but they're going to rotate.
Yeah, fixture congestion, big deal. Guys that played in the Champions League.
They got an eye on,
etc.
They had an eye on that semifinal as well, which was a big one.
What semifinal?
Right. It ended up not.
Did you like the clip of your Arsenal players running to the corner flag to waste time in like the 50th minute?
No, I don't.
He loves that.
Remember that?
You should find it.
It's the
It was someone
Selective
posting
amnesia.
it and saying this was in the 50th minute, by the way.
They're just shielding the ball in the corner.
Yeah. That is crazy.
No, it's fine.
Which happens sometimes.
Hey.
I know, but
Hey.
I just don't.
Hey, you're
I
in
just
the
don't get
final.
it, man.
So what?
A win's a win.
Come get it.
Points are points.
Come get the ball.
We got a chance for a quad, baby.
And you know what? More power to you.
We got a chance for a quad.
So does City.
I'll keep talking about it until we don't. It's fair. It's fair. No, you're so right.
That would
You're
be
so
something.
right.
That would be amazing.
It really would be. That'd be crazy.
I only say it because I know it bugs you.
There's a lot of twists and turns that are yet to go.
It's facts.
Is there anything that
I want to be on record here.
All right. Let me type this out. Hold on a second.
Type it out.
I'm going to get the record straight. Dave Smith.
What was your
on
middle
the
name again?
record. Dave. Go ahead.
Oh, let me hit record.
I think, look, as much as I think I probably speak for most Arsenal fans.
Now he's the mouthpiece
as much
for
as
the
we're
whole fan base.
excited about what is happening, we haven't won anything in a while. Okay, so there is a little bit of trepidation and hesitancy of we're excited, but just kind of gotta temper that excitement. Like we're not letting yourselves get fully excited because until you win something, it doesn't matter how good you think you are until you win something. So, in no way am I going to be braggadocious. Did I say that right? Braggadocious.
Braggadocious.
Braggadocious about that.
Braggadocious plays for Madrid.
You can be Brian. You can be the best team in the NBA regular season, and if you can't get it done in the playoffs, you are nothing.
73-9, baby.
You can be the best NFL football record in the regular season, and if you don't do it in the playoffs, and that's one thing I kind of love about the Premier League is that it's not just at how you finish at the end of the season. If you want to win the league, it's a cumulative grind of 9 months in a regular season, and I think that's why the Premier League and most soccer leagues get it right because you crown the champ at the end of the season. Of the entire season, not just the last month or 3 weeks of a season. So there we have that.
Got you on the record.
On record
it's
for
on
that,
record.
Brian.
He's on the record.
I am not. I'm just hesitant. I'm hesitant to be too excited. Yes, we're in a final, but you have to win something.
Title race is over.
Title race could be. I tell you what, with 13. After this weekend, if Liverpool, which Liverpool's been playing pretty well, if Liverpool can pull off
You hear that?
a win against City, which I think is absolutely reasonable.
It is reasonable. We're not going to do it just to spite you.
Maybe. I know, like Brian said. Brian said before
League Ben is counting stacks of cash to bet against Liverpool.
That means Liverpool will win.
To ensure.
If League Ben bets on City, that means Liverpool will win. You know this.
It might be true.
So
he's actually been he's been hitting pretty well.
I'm just saying it was how many points was Arsenal ahead when all of the Liverpool fan accounts were in their love fest with Manchester City, hoping that they would win. It wasn't that long ago, and now all of a sudden, a run of good results, and I don't know. Maybe love fest is canceled for this week. Okay.
Look, if Arsenal can get a win this week, if they can win at Sunderland away.
It's a big one.
It is.
This is a big one.
Sunderland drew us at home. So I think it is full respect going to Sunderland.
They are the only team left to not lose at home.
Stadium of Light is a difficult place to play. It is a really difficult place.
I think what helps
is a
us,
proper
Xhaka's
Premier League.
I don't think Xhaka's back yet from injury.
I don't think
so
he is either.
Sunderland their results have been struggling, and if you look at when Xhaka went out, it coincides when Sunderland has been struggling.
Or another couple of weeks, sorry.
That will help Arsenal. That will be to the benefit of Arsenal if Xhaka is not playing, and he won't be. But a City could be going into the prime matchup Sunday afternoon here in the U.S., Sunday evening across the pond, and they could be 9 points up, and City has to go go get a result. And I think having that type of pressure where Liverpool doesn't have that, they're at Anfield, and I would argue that Anfield is the toughest place to play in the Premier League. So good luck, City.
It's one of them.
Good luck.
Definitely one of them.
City's form has been pretty good, but I think Liverpool has been doing okay in the last few weeks. So there. I mean, is that the? We didn't talk much. We talked a little bit of smart stupid.
We got
got our
enough
major
Arsenal
ones
talk in there, but
we're not done.
There's more to come.
There is more to come.
That takes us up to
Let's
this
move
moment.
on.
Arsenal, future Arsenal is still to be discussed.
Moving on to the Jumble Cruise.
Come on a
You want to talk about some
Jumble
injuries? You
I
mentioned
just,
earlier Doku.
So Saka's out, and I don't know.
Yeah.
My sources. They're being tight-lipped over there.
Arsenal.
For anyone who started Arsenal this weekend, League Diane had Saka on her bench, I believe.
bench boost,
but
yeah.
she did have a bench boost going. Actually, it might have reset. She probably actually started Saka.
That could be.
And then the bench boost
Maybe.
adjusted. But she was asking in our Slack what my thoughts were. My sources, I don't know. It seems to be pretty tight-lipped. He pulled up in the warm-ups, injured. Madueke comes in, has 2 goals. It was going to be a goal and an assist, but they changed it to his fantastic near-post corner that they originally gave to an own goal. They awarded him the goal, which is probably fair because the goalkeeper tried to punch it out, but he punched it into the side of the net. So I think they looked at actually where he punched it, and the ball was almost in the goal. So anyways, they anyone who started Madueke, which I can't imagine there are many, I think he had the highest score of the week.
He tied with Diarra from Sunderland.
Wow. Diarra.
Sunderland's Diarra also on a 14 this week. But yes, you're right, Dave. Madueke with a 14.
Yeah.
On the unprecedented 0.01 XG.
No, he did
get.
I'm sorry, he did get a goal and an assist. Why? That should have been.
I thought they changed it to. They ended up crediting him with a goal. Is it possible that because it happened after the next? Was it the next day?
Stats. Yes, it was next day.
Yeah.
FPL stats have a goal and an assist.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the official
this.
stats are
in the
that
app
it was a goal
on
and
your
assist.
phone. You can look at the match info. On the website, you can't. And so you can't see the breakdown
Yes, you're right.
of the bonus points. It's really annoying. FPL changed something here because that shouldn't be the case. As I am recording on my phone, I can't click on it to check where those points were. But Madueke ended up having a good week. Also, and the reason why it's worth talking about, does Madueke, I mean, he is the immediate, if Saka doesn't play, Madueke's in.
Save that for twice as nice coming up here in a minute.
Okay.
Because we need to run through all of your people when we go there.
Another injury that isn't as fantasy relevant because his playing time was off and on. Arsenal Swiss Army knife, Mikel Merino, broken foot in training and is probably out for the most part of the rest of the season.
Have you owned him at all this season?
I have not owned him, but I have owned Declan Rice for a while. But
Yeah. I guess that's what I was, driving at is ultimately that injury doesn't affect Marino directly, but who's getting more playing time? Is Odegaard going to get in there more now?
It's a good question. Odegaard has been benched the last couple games. He's subbed on.
He had an assist this week.
His form was bad. He did come on, he had a late assist. I believe it was to Jesus. I'm confusing the Chelsea game. Well, that shouldn't be hard to confuse because Arsenal beat Leeds 4-0. So Odegaard did come on late. I don't know. The only guys I feel pretty confident starting in the league will be Zubimendi and Rice.
Yeah.
And then Eze started. I believe it was Eze started against Leeds. So anyway, so yeah, I don't think that's going to affect too many others' playing time. In other words, it's Norgard might get the off game starts and they might slide Zubamendi up possibly or just not play him.
Who?
Christian Norgard. It won't be fantasy relevant because he'll be playing in the Wigan game and
never heard of him.
Yeah, fair enough. So, anyways, another injury.
Yeah, go ahead.
Was help me here.
Dorgu? Do we want to talk about Dorgu?
I did want a Dorgu update.
The only update on Dorgu is that Manchester United's official, the Manchester United website, but Michael Carrick obviously being quoted there, just he left it as like a kind of like we'll see. You know, he's the initial estimate was 10 weeks. I think as far as anyone's concerned, it's still, you know, at this point it puts him into April. If he comes back before that, I guess just credit youth serum. I don't know what else to say. I mean, he's a young guy, and he's, I'm sure, training hard to get back to fitness again. Why wouldn't you want to get back to fitness and play in such a fun team?
Yeah, no doubt.
But there's not like a timeline update where it was like, no, now it's 5 weeks. He's actually on the treadmill again. It's not. There was nothing concrete about.
Yeah, no updates on him this week. Just the same note from last week. It doesn't look like anybody's going into April now. It does look like it's mid-March, is what they're saying. So,
my transfer from last week, my phantom transfer was Ollie Watkins. He did not play that game. I still think he would have been a fine transfer had he been fit. Not 13 points good, but would have been a fine transfer. But now with
you've never
been
so happy to not make a transfer.
Oh my gosh,
keeping Ekitike and not taking a hit for Watkins.
There are other times where I'm sure I could go back and find record of it where I did not do something that ended up. Well, it happened this season. At least one time when I didn't. I missed a deadline. Had left the captain on Bumo. Going in from a previous week when it was the obvious captain was Holland, and Bumo ended up getting a goal and Holland scored nothing. Yeah. So I ended up it has happened this season where not doing something was much better than whatever I was going to do. But this is a game of mostly luck. Hey, one good one that we didn't say was because Ayari from Brighton was one of the top scorers a couple weeks ago. He ended up missing out. He had an actual injury, so he didn't play this past week. So hopefully you didn't buy him on recommendation from this podcast. That
I'm pretty sure when you said Ayari, I
overrated.
Said who?
Yeah, exactly. Well, for sure. Chelsea's got a bunch of guys this week. It's I don't know how many people. I have Reece James. I can probably tell you in 2 seconds how many what percentage he's at. He's at 11%. That's higher than I might have guessed. But Reece James, Pedro Neto, both a doubt for this weekend for Chelsea. That might affect some people. The sad one for Everton, I know we talked about Jack Grealish weeks ago, was that he would miss some time. I think it was a month or something, but now it seems, I think the last report was he's unlikely to play again this season, needs surgery. Speedy recovery there, Jack. I hope everything works out for you. Was there some other guy? Was there other? I feel like there was not many others that were like,
Silva's injured now. He did have an assist. Which is one of the ones that we said, oh, yeah, he's the worst. We're not buying him. But honestly, he's been pretty good.
Brian, what's going on with Reece James?
Do you remember when Liverpool signed Alexander Isak?
Who?
This summer.
Yeah, right.
Do you remember that? That feels like that was at the turn of the century.
Soccer player?
He is.
Not a set piece coach?
Is there not?
Hey, when you sign two strikers and the lesser, which you still paid more than Gyökeres for, and he's doing better than Gyökeres.
I was going to say, I think his price justifies it.
Hey, Ekitike's been awesome, and kudos to him because I feel like he was getting crapped on through the whole Isak saga, and I was on record on this pod being like, hey, if I'm Ekitike, I am not happy. Like, I'm here and I'm going to show out and show that everyone needs to shut up.
He's got a good head on his shoulders for sure.
If there's another reason that you needed to not care about where someone is playing Liverpool, whether home or away, Joe Linton is unlikely to play this week. Dave, you said pre-pod, just talked about like what I think is obvious when you watch Liverpool or when you watch Newcastle, that if Joe Linton and Bruno G are not out there, and that midfield of Tonali, Bruno G, and Joe Linton is not together,
are they really going to buy him?
That great,
Tonali.
I think
really going to buy him.
They contacted him and his agent. They didn't contact Newcastle, but they wanted to know if it was even a possibility.
His agent or his bookie?
Because what?
What? Huh?
Who is his bookie? What?
He served a ban for betting.
Dave, the Newcastle midfield is a bit of a shambles. Bruno G still only the best they can say is a chance for the weekend. This weekend. So it looks like it might be Tonali alone. And then Anthony Gordon, the one bright spot for Newcastle against Liverpool this weekend, finally scored an open play goal. First time since, I think, 2021. No, it's been a long time. But he's got a hamstring injury, which Eddie Howe said I don't think looks too bad. But he has no chance of playing this weekend either. So not good for Newcastle. Kevin Shada, straight red card, so he's banned for a few weeks. For a few weeks. Nico Williams, I think, is also suspended this week from a red card.
Handball. It was like Suarez at the World Cup.
Yeah.
Where he's just like...
Excellent save. But
it was wild.
Yeah, but bad move. Someone else was banned, too. There was another red card, but I can't remember who it was. Either way, probably not that fantasy relevant. We'll find out later. That's it. That's really your injury. The only other... there's a couple transfers, by the deadline. Jurgen Strand Larson going to Crystal Palace. I don't know what that really does. I feel like it's only worth saying it out loud, just because.
Todibo for West Ham got a red.
Oh, right.
And that 90+.
Yeah, that was a weird one too. He choked out João Pedro.
Yeah. How did
just real quick?
How did
weird?
How did Adama Traore not get a red card for tossing Cucurella like a baby?
Probably because they were scared he was going to kill.
They're like, it's Cucurella. He deserved it. That's probably what they thought.
Travis, you're right. And then they were just glad he didn't kill João Pedro as he was charging him.
They're like, thank you for containing all of your rage and anger and sinewy.
Yeah. No, the West Ham Chelsea game had some fireworks there. It was
interesting.
As Chelsea stole it late with a shot from Enzo.
Think how fiery, if West Ham really does want to stay up. Think how mad they're going to keep being. If it doesn't go their way, they're going to keep Traore. Maybe that's why they brought Traore, just to toss some little guys around.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, I agree.
Do you guys want to go through some names?
Well, there's a couple names. Number one, I need to apologize to a player.
Are we doing? Is this still part of what we're calling Jumble Cruise?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, go ahead.
There's no way I called it that.
Maybe you just watched. Maybe you just.
It was a commercial.
Disney
I was watching TV and there was a commercial
not the Disney
for
Jungle
Cruise.
Jungle Cruise. This is the Jumble Cruise.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Have poo-pooed early season. It was worth it, and I was right. But I need to be a man and say, because I kind of alluded to it last week, but I didn't come out and just say this. Florian Wirtz is fantasy relevant in a big way, and a lot of other people have been saying that. And now, I think what's interesting.
Why are you so nervous about that?
I think what's interesting is this. If you look at his week by week play and his stats, what you will find is that Florian Wirtz, number one, has had great numbers for about 8 match weeks.
Yes.
But it's been, for the most part, in the last 6, maybe the last 8, every other match is good. And it's really bizarre. So you can go back to match week 18 against Wolves, he's got 10, then Leeds 3. Fulham, match week 20, 10, then 3, then 10, then 2, and then another 12 against Newcastle. So what that tells me is
don't buy him this week.
Don't buy him this week. But at Sunderland, Florian Wirtz,
maybe.
Going to be on fire. At Forest, not going to be good. Home West Ham, Florian Wirtz week. But he has been, Travis, playing much better. You cannot deny the numbers. And especially for bold people who are selling Haaland, and I'm thinking about it. I mean, if you're I mean, what if I sold Haaland, brought in Pedro because Chelsea's fixtures continue to be fantastic, and then turned Harry Wilson or Bruno G into Florian Wirtz? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, and so
I would take a hit to do that right now on the podcast, actually.
Well, I've already made my transfer this week, unfortunately.
Take 2 hits.
So I would have to take at least 1 hit. And so anyways, I don't know. Brian, we'll talk, maybe now it's time to talk about it. Selling Haaland.
Well, you can talk about where it's as far as the jumble cruise is going because Wirtz was one of the top with 12 points, top performer this week. Yeah.
No, for sure.
I'll allow it.
And I just think that it's worth mentioning that at minimum every other week, but he absolutely has the potential. His form he's finally found his place. They figured it out. And he continues to be dangerous, whether goal scoring or assisting. And he's starting to turn into the player that Liverpool bought. And it took him a little longer. And that's okay. That happens to a lot of players. So kudos to him. He's been playing really well. And I want to acknowledge that.
Don't throw Harry Wilson out just because he blanked 1 week.
No.
He scored this week, didn't he?
No, he did not.
I like Harry Wilson.
I thought he scored.
No.
I do.
Unfortunately,
Brian, there is another.
I benched Harry Wilson this week, actually.
I did not. I started Harry Wilson this week. I did want to talk about this, though. There is a player that I think
free kick.
Depending on where you're spending your money, you should consider this in at least a minimum consideration. Alex Scott for Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And this is a good time to say who. But Alex Scott for Bournemouth. Bournemouth has won 3 of their last 4. One of them against Liverpool. Alex Scott in his last 4 matches, 4, 4, 5, and 13. Alex Scott is a 5-0 midfielder for Bournemouth. Most people have probably never heard of him. And since he's got he's been starting games for him. Since match week 15, he's been 14, he's been starting some games.
He was hurt.
I'm not saying he's a Semenyo replacement, but he's for a cheap midfielder, he's continuing to find his way in the stat sheet.
His strongest attribute is he is not afraid to shoot.
He's a shooter.
From anywhere, any body position.
Shooters
the guy will just unload.
That is true.
He will just unload. And honestly, he's very good at it. So I think that's a great shout.
Dave, what you need to say once we get there, you need to save your Madueke full analysis for later as a top performer there, but you also need to talk about why you think Casemiro is actually not a crazy person to add.
There's no way I'm defending that.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, try.
No.
You need to defend yourself
I don't believe
for saying that. I don't believe that either.
Enzo, I would take Enzo Fernandez 10 times out of 10 over Casemiro. There's nothing. And look, in 3 weeks, maybe I can eat some words because this is a different United that was playing this season. But there is no way I'm bringing Casemiro in.
Where is Casemiro?
There's just way too many midfielders.
Where is Casemiro in midfielder scoring? Go ahead and guess.
4th.
No.
I just wanted to like
an old friend of mine.
No.
An old friend of mine used to do that where it was obvious that someone was trying to lead you to a certain answer, and he would always intentionally ruin. The surprise.
I would be
guess how much I paid for this shirt? $1.
I would be surprised if he's in the top 20, and I don't think he's in the top 20.
Okay.
He's got to be in the top 20. Otherwise, you wouldn't have said it.
I know. The question begs
right.
the answer.
He's 9th. He's actually tied for 8th with Garner, with old James Garner.
Old
The actor.
Scragglebeard.
No, James Garner from Everton has 105 points. So does Casemiro. He is 8 points behind Morgan Rogers. He is 9 points behind Enzo.
He's 5.6. I would rather have Garner. I would rather have Enzo.
Yeah, but
Enzo's
Enzo's such a
He's
huge
6'8".
price difference.
He's 6'8".
Elliot Anderson. You'd rather have Elliot Anderson for cheaper. They're a point difference. You'd absolutely rather
I like
have.
United's offense better. I like the
Casemiro-
way United's playing better than Elliot Anderson.
The thing with Casemiro is that he's been doing this all season. The reason why he's 9th in scoring,
It's
8th. Sorry.
DEFCON. DEFCON's been giving him bonus
No,
points.
it's because he keeps popping up with these games where he's arriving in the box to score an important goal for them at times. And if he's going to be an important cog. He's leaving, so that's the one thing you know about him is that he's leaving after this season. And how many times has he been on this guy's lost a step, this guy is washed up, this isn't the Casemiro that we've known forever in his career or whatever. I don't know. I think he's kind of got a little Casemiro chip on his shoulder. I'm not saying that yes, I understand what you're saying. Would you rather have him or Harry Wilson? Because they were
Harry Wilson.
They were the same price.
I'd rather have
and Harry Wilson is on 116 points, 11 points ahead of Casemiro. So I'm just saying, I'm not suggesting, because you cannot make a stat argument for him. But this is one of those, like,
he is top 10.
He's a top 10 midfielder, which at this point in the season,
Allegedly.
I mean, technically not allegedly, he's there.
Listen, you don't have to trust me that I can see the numbers.
Facts are facts.
I know.
I am surprised that he's that high. I just would never consider him.
How many seasons have you gone in playing this game where you're like, there's no way that guy is that good, and then you look at the scores and you're like, oh my gosh, why is he there?
You know who this reminds me? This reminds me of James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All those years where you're like, how is James?
How did he finish in the top 7?
He's 7th, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to be good to score points, though, apparently.
13 points for Casemiro this week, 2nd in point total, only to Diarrhea.
It was a
Madueke.
good header. It was a good header.
Solanke, I really wish there was a reason to go after him. One of the guys that I was going to say, he was on the stat number, like the stat thing from last week because he was so creative. Pascal Gross back at Brighton scores a goal, the go-ahead goal, looked like the game-winning goal.
Grob?
Old Grob back in the Premier League again. Last week, I think, created 6. I almost did it. Let's just say between 6 and 8 chances last week.
You almost said 6, 7.
Don't do it.
That's why I didn't do it. This week a little less creative. 0 chances created this week, but he was really great last week, and now back-to-back returns. Did he get a return last week? Either way, playing with some fire. I think he's happy to be back in Brighton. Was it Dortmund?
Okay.
I do know that.
Okay.
I know that.
These Grobing Headlines.
He was.
Wow.
You gotta throw him in there.
You buying the Konate? You buying the Konate performance, or is that a big? Who cares?
Who cares?
Reynildo from Sunderland, one of the other big performers this week, finishes with
preseason pick.
Yeah, that was did not score, but ends with an 11 this week.
He was hurt for a good little while too, wasn't he?
Got one of the assists. Did he assist? Who did he? Was he the?
I did not see any of that match.
Mukiele had an assist.
I was going to say Muka. Yeah.
Yeah. Those some of those players like that you. I mean, he's real cheap too. I think he's. Did I see 3.8? Did I see an 8 on there? I did. He's a 3.8. Boy, you got a real tough decision on your hand if you're wild carding now. James Justin for 3.9, or take a chance on newly back in the lineup, Reynildo.
They call him Nildo.
3 point.
Nilly. Call him
I like Nildo better.
Have you or have you not made a transfer to get Joao Pedro? You did not.
I had him in my wild card,
already,
and I dumped him
I'm
for.
surprised.
I dumped him for Brian Brobby because he was on a little bit of a tear, and it was either him or Barry from Everton, and I was like, Everton's gonna blow it, so I went with Brobby, and well, that was dumb.
Well,
should have been
week,
Pedro.
Just give it 1 week. It's fine. It's the same. I mean, you could have brought in Krupe and been thinking the same thing. Although Krupe did something.
He was on the list. He was on the list, but he was not ever in my team.
Well,
Pedro was.
Multiple of these guys are guys that we brought up last week, Brian, where we were smart.
Yeah.
Where we went through a list of forwards, all lower to mid-level priced forwards that were doing and scoring every week, unlike Holland.
Yeah.
Again,
for sure.
There's a lot of guys you could choose to go to.
Yeah.
One of the other ones probably overlooked, and you probably would have been upset with yourself if you had him before because he was benched a couple times there. But Matheus Cunha, just for
Bumo had been getting all the headlines.
I know Bumo went up in price all those times, and Bruno an obvious choice, but Cunha was the one. I think we did say that. I think that was kind of an obvious one that with Dorgu leaving, that Cunha was seemed like a prime beneficiary there of that injury. Since the start of 2026, Matheus Cunha 33 points behind only Morgan Gibbs-White, Enzo Fernandez, Yassine Ayari from Brighton, and Florian Wirtz.
Who?
Ayari. Florian Wirtz.
Cunha, back-to-back nines, Arsenal Fulham.
Yeah, and
9.
And he did it in 21 minutes against Arsenal.
Yeah,
awesome.
And honestly, what stands out most about him is that he's done it in basically 300 minutes.
Yeah, very limited.
In 5 games.
So what's it going to take for him to get on the field? Apparently, Dorgu getting hurt.
Now he's on the field, and he adds a dynamic to their attack that I think he is such a wild card.
And also,
he's a little lazy in defense, but
look, Amarim not in charge, and I don't know, maybe it was Cunha's injuries that were keeping him off the pitch, but for whatever, this is feel good Carrick United, okay?
Yeah, but Cunha under Amarim looked frustrated more so than anything. I don't think that he was playing bad. He just looked like a guy that was doing all the work and was pissed that no one else was helping him.
Yeah.
Like there was so many matches where he's sitting on the ground and just like hands in the air, like, what the heck, guys? Like, why did I just try so hard if you're not going to show up?
Right. He's at 8.8% selected, significantly lower than Bumo, and obviously significantly less than Bruno. Your decision would be...
Who would you rather, Cunha or Bumo?
That's really hard.
Because you're Bruno...
We're back to where we are every single week, which is... Which of these 15 midfielders do you like the most? I just said Morgan Gibbs-White again, and I distinctly remember saying weeks ago about if he's in that list of names, that if he's in your team, I don't know what there is to be mad about. He's on penalties, and he has the capability of doing what he's been doing. I said since the beginning of the year, he's the second highest scoring midfielder.
Are he and Bowen going to the World Cup?
That's crazy.
You think so? Do you think they're on the bus? On the plane?
Yeah. They should be on it. They're not starters, but they should be there.
This is throwing them together again. You think they're playing for Forest and West Ham next season?
Gibbs-White tried to leave or something was
right.
weird.
He was going to Spurs.
Right. And then
owner hijacked
it. And then
owner at gunpoint said you're not doing that.
You're not going anywhere.
West Ham's getting relegated, and Bowen, it will be a
There's no way West Ham gets relegated.
Yes, they will.
I think you might be right.
West Ham gets relegated, and it's a fire sale. Diouf gone. Bowen gone.
There is a little bit of a golden parachute.
Way.
But
Somerville gone.
Bowen doesn't belong in the championship.
Paqueta already gone. Your favorite
didn't matter,
South
apparently.
American.
Didn't matter.
True.
They're still playing fine.
They were winning 2-0. They blew it.
Yeah. They need
6
defenders.
points behind Forest
6.
and 6 points behind Leeds.
That feels like a million this
It
season.
does.
With the quality of those teams, Nottingham Forest would have to have an absolute meltdown. And
Which
there
is
is no
possible.
way Sean Dyche lets them melt down. Leeds,
He will put 11 people on the goal line before he will let that happen.
Spurs get relegated.
Spurs are not getting relegated. They're,
It's not happening.
and there's a world in which
Spurs are gonna win the
they
Champions
could-
League.
Way West Ham gets relegated. There's no way.
I know it doesn't feel like
Yeah,
it should
but we didn't
happen,
think
but
Newcastle was going to get relegated
It doesn't feel like
they
it.
haven't.
back in the day. Yeah, they did.
It doesn't
Not
feel
that
like
long
it
ago.
should happen, but I think this is finally
Oh
it.
boy.
It's hard to believe.
Oh boy.
What am I going to do with that West Ham coaster that
You're gonna hold on to
you
it.
3D printed?
You're
for
gonna
me?
hold on to it, and you're gonna.
What am I
love
gonna?
it.
I'm never gonna wear my Hammer shirt again.
Yes, you are. You're gonna root for him in the championship. It sounds like. All right.
There was a bunch of other guys. I mean, I feel like those were kind of the top performers that might be tempting you. I mean, the other big one was just Sunderland. I blame Burnley on that one. I mean, Roofs ends up being good, Ballard good. We already said Diarra. Who was the other guy? I said Reynildo. If you had Mukiele, he ends up with an assist and a 9-pointer, which honestly, with an assist in a shutout, you probably expect him to go for more than 9. I feel like 9 seems low for that performance, but everybody hauls for Sunderland. It also really now, like what used to be a gap where Dan Ballard had those games, and Ballard now is up to 4.6, and I don't know how low he was at whatever point. But there was that moment where Mukiele and Alderete were the same price.
Yeah.
And there was like that.
Right.
It was like,
Yeah,
who
sure.
should I go for here?
Right.
And now that gap is so gigantic. Mukiele for 4.5 still seems like a. You do have it.
Mukiele is
Oh,
the
you
type
don't.
of guy who might get poached by a higher club, maybe.
Well, if he keeps scoring really good in FPL, that he will.
Oh yeah,
They'll be
'Cause
like,
they look at the
we
FPL
need him to
numbers.
raise our profile.
There's no doubt about that.
I think a lot of people have to, including us, Semenyo keeping on this pace is fantastic.
Yeah.
It really is.
You know what? Good for him. He's a good dude.
He is a good dude.
I like seeing him play
I
well.
hate that he's playing for City.
I don't know that we talked about this a bunch. He got racially abused, I think, at Anfield.
Oh yeah, I
by
remember
that guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah, I remember that.
And watching him
Hold on,
deal
can I-
with that, yeah, it was weird.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Might be a little controversial.
Hang on, let me mute real quick.
I'm not gonna say it, but if
That's a
certain
lot.
types of people are
Yeah.
sending insults at me, number one, I'm gonna let insults roll off my back. But granted, if I know that you're trying to get underneath my skin, then I'm just gonna ignore it all the more.
Yeah.
But if it's coming from, I don't know,
Sabrina Carpenter.
from Sabrina Carpenter, I'm definitely not going to pay it any attention. Good call, Brian. Well
Is he in a
said.
wheelchair? Anyways, all that to say, he was a season ticket holder.
Yeah.
They charged him. I think they revoked his season
I think
ticket.
they did.
They charged him. He went to court. Apparently, there was a bunch of other people that were basically like, "It was him. Get him out of here!" Like season ticket holders. So it was. I think handled well, but he shouldn't have had to deal with it. But the fact of the matter is, the guy didn't make a big deal. He said something, and then he went on. I think he scored after there, at least assist.
Yeah, that
or
was the
something.
game where he got two.
Crushed.
Yeah, he
crushed after.
yeah.
And I never had more respect for
such
a
a
guy
good
after
player.
that.
He's such a good
He was calm. He was cool. It obviously bothered him, and he could have crumbled. He could have gotten messed up. He probably should have, and he didn't. And then he went off and he performed, and you know what? Good
It's
for
just
him.
annoying
Even
that,
against my club.
Guys that I like, Gahey,
Yeah.
Semenyo, go to City. Like I just
And that's why I'm really rooting
I
for him
hate
this
that.
season.
You're such a jerk. You're such a
Yeah,
turd.
that's so funny.
You're such a turd. I hate you.
Anyways.
All right.
The sad one.
They'd
I
never
think,
go to the corner
one of
flag in the 50th
One of
minute.
the sad ones. We did have it as a forward discussion of the. It seemed like Evan Nielsen. I mean, that's how you can throw that back up 20 minutes ago. What time is it? 40 minutes ago when we were talking about smart and stupid that I would have thought that Evan Nielsen was the safest choice of the Bournemouth forwards, and their Krupi scores this week. 68 minutes.
He's a firecracker.
The
very like
oh yeah.
It's funny
in matches too. It's just like hot, cold.
It's funny how the fear of someone's minutes evaporates whenever they do good in the minutes. Whatever minutes it is.
It doesn't matter.
João Pedro.
You're throwing things as soon as you see a guy that you just bought for your team not in the starting lineup, and then sure enough later
Trossard,
on.
That's exactly who I was going to bring
Krupi, up. 68 minutes.
Trossard
so many
was
people
good for that for a while.
People warning about buying Krupi in fear that he doesn't play a lot of minutes, and there he goes scoring a goal in 68 minutes.
Trossard's gotten the nod over Martinelli. I mean, Martinelli's been starting cup matches in sort of secondary games. Trossard's been starting in the league.
One actual could have been interesting. I think there's an injury associated with it. Is no, never mind. It is not an injury. I got my Palace players mixed up. But Ismail Assar scored this week on a penalty.
Another guy who will probably end up somehow.
So Ismail Assar, I don't know how many people are going there.
So.
I want to say I don't care.
Is Palace going to get relegated? Palace is just tanking.
They are not going to get relegated. We did mention that. That is not our idea. I was only repeating
just 9 points ahead.
Right. I was only
of West Ham, but that's
just they could really
that's
struggle.
A gulf. Yet if Arsenal go up really 9 points on City, we're acting like it's not the same point spread. Just saying.
We said already this run of fixtures was a tough one. So Dave, they had already, I said I feel like it's been a long time coming where there was a reason that you target them, but it's proven to be true. Although they did get the draw against Nottingham Forest this week. This run of fixtures has already started poorly. The relegation scrap with Nottingham Forest ends in a 1-1 draw. Dave, I don't know what game you're watching this weekend, but I have a feeling it's the M23 Derby.
You got to be kidding.
Away to Brighton, we already said that was going to be a tough one, and then their real chance to make this not a discussion point anymore, playing home to Burnley and home to Wolves, before they have to play Manchester United and Spurs. So 5 games coming up here, where only 2 of them are games that you say, boy, I think Crystal Palace has a shot at winning that one.
Is Strand Larson going to go on a run? Mateta's gone. They like a big target man.
Mateta not gone.
Oh, he didn't leave.
No,
they fell through.
They couldn't get it across the line.
Failed the physical.
Wait, what? I missed this. Well, did I miss this?
Listen.
Failed.
I love Mateta. Honestly, I'd probably love to have a beer with Mateta. But, Brian, he doesn't seem like he's the fittest guy for me. I'm surprised he failed a physical. Hey, I think Mateta likes his Twinkies.
Big, strong guy, wears his shorts weird.
He's a shirt
tuck-in guy.
I don't see a belly there.
What his diet is in his free time is his own business.
I like Mateta. I think he's an awesome dude.
Yeah. He likes his Twinkies. What are you talking about?
I like Twinkies.
I don't know if Strand Larson's going to go on a run. They do need Strand Larson to be good, though, and I'm saying if
he is not.
He should be okay.
That's what he said. I'm just trying to put words in his mouth.
Easy.
He should be okay. Strand Larson, I mean, who knows?
They need him to be good. He's okay.
How many times was he such a trendy pick at the beginning of the season, and then Wolves faded, and then he also blew it a few times on his own, and then he started whining, and then he got his wish. So I don't know. There's no rush to go out and get him. That is for sure.
A lot of 10 o'clock games this week, by the way.
That's great. Those are fun.
On Saturday, 10 o'clock Eastern.
The multi-view. Come on, man.
Across the pond. Yeah, the goal rush will be in full effect.
Elliot Anderson.
Do you like goal rush or like multi-view, where you can see them all, you can switch?
Sometimes I do both, but with this many games, there is 6 games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in that window.
Yeah.
So multi-view is going to be crowded.
It depends on who's doing the goal rush.
If Arsenal's in the goal rush game, then I'll be watching that. They're at the 10 o'clock hour.
It will be. unless they're on network. If they're on network, they don't end up in Gold Rush.
No,
Anyways,
yeah.
not important. As long as Liverpool's on USA, that's all I care about. So your brother can't watch.
They will be the network game, by the way.
To your earlier point about low price midfielders, Elliot Anderson with an assist, making the waters muddier for
The
midfield.
Casemiro sweepstakes. No one's going to Anderson unless you already have him. There's too many other good options, especially if you're going to own or not own Holland. Then the world.
Elliot,
the world is
like
your
we
oyster.
said, Elliot Anderson, yes, 104 points, just 1 point there behind Casemiro. But I don't know what you're doing. If you want a 5.3 midfielder, I guess go ahead, get Elliot Anderson. There are lots of other.
Last thing before we jump to twice as nice and then night moves. Let's round this up.
This guy's ready to go to
round this
bed.
up quickly.
Yeah.
Bedtime's on the way. I normally by this time of the season am considering a wild card. I am not. I don't feel like I need to do that right now. I know Brian J. Shesko will not do a wild card until it is probably week 30 or 31 at minimum, and then he'll start considering it. He's also a better FPL player than me. I might try to do that. I just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I might look at it and go, if I sell Holland,
the whole world opens up if you sell Holland.
that's exactly right. So that's the thought.
It's even better than selling Salah.
That's the thought now of selling.
I should probably do that. I should probably sell
Back-to-back
Salah.
assists for Mo Salah. You could bring him in your team.
I mean, it's not.
No.
I wouldn't, but
No.
at least that's in the conversation now. I wouldn't, but at least it's in the conversation. My point being is,
You buy weirds.
legit. I think it's a legitimate thought for anyone
Veertech at
considering
TK
wild
is not a bad
carding.
pickup.
Considering wild carding right now,
It's a perfect segue for the next segment of this podcast, which is about the double game week that's upcoming.
Okay.
But keep going.
well, no, I'm just saying. I just think it's worth if you're going to wild card sometime soon, and that wild card does not include Erling. Now all of a sudden, boy, you can load up with a really, really strong team. I don't know. I might consider it.
So
There's some cleanup I could do.
for sure,
and
you would the only
I could easily now bring Rofs in and have Raya and Rofs because Rofs continues to. I mean, I'm going to flick over to goalkeepers right here. I'm guessing Pickford. Of course, Pickford's there, but it's Pickford, Rofs, and Raya.
But we said this was in that run of fixtures here where Everton defensively, this is not good for their defense. That run continues. Finding someone having someone else instead of him is not a bad idea.
Right. Travis, did you start Pickford this past week?
No, Rofs, man.
Okay. Yeah.
Against Burnley. But I will start Pickford this week against Fulham, even though that's probably not a great matchup.
Are they home?
It's away to Fulham. So at Craven Cottage, but Rofs is away to
away to Arsenal.
Away to Emirates. You don't want that either.
No, you don't want that.
If I was,
Don't want that smoke.
I'd rather have Pickford.
Since we're rarely ever until it's convenient, rarely ever talking about that much of future planning. There is an occasional look ahead to fixtures or whatever, but knowing that the double game week was coming up, with at least we had talked about that, the possibility of
twice as
double
nice.
game week. Twice as nice. Now that it's official, Wolves and Arsenal playing the double game week in game week 26.
What Wolves you bringing in? All of them?
No, just Krejci, the defender, one of their defenders.
No, you're not. You're not
He's
bringing
one,
him
I
in.
promise.
Creature?
No, you're not, dude.
Krejci.
No.
KREJCI.
I think you're right.
Probably some
Wow.
sort of Sadia.
That's a subtle.
I've never even heard that
Hey.
term before. Sadia?
That's
yes,
a
you do.
subtle.
That's a
That's
little-
No,
It's that little squiggle.
I'm sure I've seen it, but I've never heard
Old-
someone name
It's
it.
like a tilde. It's that little. It's that little.
tilde.
That little.
Tilde.
Little pointy cap. The little angle that goes on top.
Travis,
of
that's a little bonus ode to the old pod. How to say with Brian J. Quick blurb on that name.
I can't believe those are still out there to listen to. I always wonder about that.
Yeah, so
I feel like
we get a
need
lot
to
of
bring
mail.
that segment.
Oh,
back.
sure.
We get a lot of mail about bring back How to Say.
I know.
And
that was
hey, I was sitting. I was bored one day. I was sitting around. I was just scanning through, listening to How to Say with Brian J.
What I was going to say is, as far as future
we
planning
ignore all
goes,
those emails.
You said that League Diane used her bench boost. I'm sure the matchups, you see the matchups when they're happening,
right.
and you say like, "Hey, this actually doesn't look like a bad."
I might be able to do it.
I
this
feel
week.
pretty good about my matchups.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I might as well throw the bench boost on there. You could have done that in so many weeks, all the time, where you're like, "I should have bench boosted." You say that all the time.
It's a good week to do it.
Looking
for her,
ahead,
except for the Sokka debacle.
Game week 26.
That's true.
Because of the way the fixtures fall. Not just the double Arsenal match, but the fixtures for the other teams that you likely have players from. Game week 26 really might be a good week. I know a lot of people are already talking about triple captain because the Arsenal fixtures are so green. But Brentford away is greenish. Wolves away is fluorescent.
It's like, can you get more green?
But you've got Chelsea playing home against Leeds. You have Manchester City playing home against Fulham.
You have United at
Manchester United out West Ham.
That could be fun.
How many players already in that list are you like, oh, yeah, that's great? Like, you're going to see so many players from your top teams.
Liverpool's at Sunderland.
And Liverpool's at Sunderland.
Which is good for Sunderland.
Sunderland's going to kill them. But I mean,
Rovs might have a lot of saves.
It's hilarious that still is going to show up as green.
Brian, that's a really
green.
good point.
So I know that the toss up every time
Wild
something
card
like this
25,
happens.
Bench boost 26.
If you're bench boosting, you might have a team where you really do have whatever that gap is, what a triple captain would be, because we talked about it. I don't know if we said it on pod or if it was just a off pod discussion, but that the question, as soon as there's a double game week of, am I triple captaining someone? Is there someone in there to triple captain? And Arsenal triple captain seems so great.
Agree.
These
and the reason why is there's a week in between the game. Oh, not a week. There's 6 days in between the games.
Right. Now that we know the gap between, because assuming that
so in other words, starters are going to be in the Premier League. Starters,
assuming
will be in both
that
games.
your players do not start against Wigan in the FA Cup.
That's what I was going to say. Do you want to go through the breakdown of how that stacks up? Because we did that before we started recording, and there's something to that.
So the way this is a credit to Ben Crellin, who finally put together a kind of rest of season.
Finally, come on, man.
Well, I'm just saying he can't do it until he has the definite.
Correct.
Until he has definite. So when I say finally,
has his percentages.
Right, it's finally in the sense that it's seeing
official.
that list of fixtures.
Thank you for qualifying that statement.
I'm not criticizing Ben Crellin's hard
You usually
work
are, so I just
for
want
the
to make
FPL
sure.
community. But now that it's official, you can kind of see the breakdown of this is who's playing when, and you kind of see the rest of the season. So not only do you know double game week 26 for Arsenal and Wolves, but that makes game week 31 a guaranteed blank for Arsenal and Wolves. It could also be a blank for Manchester City and Crystal Palace in that week. Likely to blank in game week 31. But the possibility is if both Crystal Palace and Manchester City have somehow been knocked out of their European competition, the games for 31 could just be postponed to another time within game week 31, within that match week.
Yeah.
So if you feel like Manchester City is not in a position to advance in the Champions League, or if somehow the disaster that is unfolding at Crystal Palace extends into their European competition, then, but that's far away. And like Ben Crellin said, even if it is rescheduled, it will be almost certainly, you won't know about it until way later. Like that's obviously so far down the road, that is not something that you could plan for. However, somewhere between game week 32, 33, and 34, there is another, there is double game week. It is not nearly as substantial as it has been in previous seasons, which is one of the main reasons why, for me, the title race is still close enough. And then because the points between 12th and Liverpool 12th and 3rd, 12th and Villa, whatever it is, because that's so tight that
it's not Villa.
Who's in third now? Chelsea?
Villa's in third.
Villa's in third.
Villa's in third with 46. United's in fourth with 41.
What's 12 though?
Bournemouth is 12th with 33, and Newcastle has 33.
So it's the gap.
I would say between 6th, 39 Liverpool, and 12th with 33 Bournemouth and Newcastle. That's a 6-point gap.
Reasonable.
Right. In other words, that's European Conference football that's achievable for actually that might be Europa.
Right. You're 7 points. Bournemouth between Bournemouth and Chelsea is 7 points.
Brentford's in 7th.
Right.
Behind Liverpool.
But either way, like looking through that list, you're not expecting that Bournemouth's going to make a push for the top 4. However, there is enough, that there's enough quality in there that
they're going to hang around.
Some of those teams are going to be around, that there really will be a fight, definitely, if not necessarily for top 4, but definitely for Europe. So it's close enough between, 6th and 12th, where you really do have, I think that's just going to be ongoing. I'm saying all of that, as long as the races for those spots are open, all of those teams are viable. They're not going to hit the beach,
right?
Yeah, there's so much less opportunity for early beach this season, which is part of the reason why, as much as I want to have triple Arsenal for the double game week. I would love to do that,
but
it would take me a hit to be able to do that.
Not if you wild card.
Not if I wild card, or not if I bank the transfer this week. But then I would have to sell someone valuable. So that's my other problem. So it really would turn into, am I selling Haaland to get to do this?
Yeah.
I don't think I want to sell Ekitike because, like I said, Liverpool.
I do not want to sell Ekitike.
I don't want to sell any Liverpool home against Manchester City. No way.
No.
It's a red matchup, but I don't care.
They usually show up in more open matches. Yeah.
And then it's Sunderland, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, Wolves, Tottenham, Brighton. Away to Brighton, I guess. They're kind of a bogey team.
And Forest away too is a little bit bogey.
Fulham, Everton, Crystal Palace. They have the easiest run in by far. That's not even close. There's not one team. Chelsea in 36 is the next time, and Villa. Chelsea, Villa back to back in 36-37 is the next toughest 2-game stretch for Liverpool, and it's so late in the season. No, they go Manchester United away, Chelsea home, Villa away in 35, 36, 37. Those are fantastic.
Ooh. Wow. We get some late season drama.
But I'm saying, we
could be relegated by then.
The point of all of this was to say, if, depending on how you want to use your chips, 26 is a chip week.
Arsenal's run-in's pretty good.
You won the title. What do you mean it's good? Of course it's good.
You're in the corner flag.
Right. You guys are running out the clock now, and it's only game week 25.
No,
it's a chip week. So I've already seen.
I might be wild carding this week.
Dave's got plotting. He
already wild carded last week.
He feels plotting. Dave is going to eat the ultimate crow and bring in Florian Wirtz into his midfield.
I
his
might.
wild card. Absolutely,
I might.
And it's a good move.
I might.
I endorse
I'm serious.
it. I'm 100% behind it.
I don't think you're crazy, but if you got to pick between Wirtz and Bruno, you're going to pick Fernandes.
But he can go Bruno.
I'm keeping.
That's the thing.
That's exactly right. I'm keeping Fernandes. Fernandes is not leaving. Semenyo's not leaving. Rice could leave.
That's what I was going to get to.
Bruno G could leave.
You can't get Bruno rid of Declan Rice ahead of double
if I
game
get rid
26?
of Haaland, all of a sudden things get really fun.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily about the money so much as it is about there's too many good options.
All right, Dave. So as you're discussing your own wild card in your own mind, let me give you the rundown really quickly of your own team.
Yes,
because this is the first time where I think everyone really wants to know, what am I supposed to do with these guys? Arsenal football team. That's what you call yourselves, right?
Football club.
So Dave, since game week 20. Let's just do 2026, okay? 5 games since the beginning of the year. You have 5 players who have played all possible minutes.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
In the Premier League?
Yeah. 5 games, 450 minutes.
Declan Rice.
Yes.
Zubimendi.
No. Close, but not quite.
He's played or started in all games.
No, this is 90 minutes.
90 minutes. Raya.
Yep.
There's two easy ones.
No, because the defense is not. No one in the defense has started all games and played all. Timber has.
You're right.
Okay.
And there's 2 more.
That's shocking. It's no one across the front line.
Nope.
Zubimendi is the only other option.
Zubimendi, 407 minutes in 5 games. So Zubimendi's close, but not quite.
All right, then I'm out of options.
Gabriel and Saliba.
Both of them have missed games.
No, not in the league.
Not in the calendar year so far. Not in the last 5 games.
Year.
Yeah, since the start of 2026.
I missed that pertinent piece of information.
Those last 3 were super easy.
Entire season.
No.
I was thinking entire season.
You have 5 players who have played all 450 minutes since the start of 2026.
Gotcha. Yes.
5 games.
Okay.
450 minutes.
Yeah, so that should have been easier. Then.
Is there any reason, if you were tripling up in a double game week for Arsenal, to not pick not pick 3 of those 5 players?
Yeah.
Sub question: talk me out of thinking that I want Kai Havertz.
Okay, so
Ooh.
no. So that's where I was going to go. I would pick if I wild card right now, and sounds crazy. I would go with, because let's not forget, Kai Havertz is one of Arteta's favorite guys. In this past week against Chelsea, in the midweek, he subbed out. Who did he sub out? He subbed out. Was it Eze? And brought in Odegaard, and then just moved Havertz around. In other words, so he can now sub out Gyökeres and then move Havertz up. He can sub out someone else and move Havertz around. Havertz is his in the game. I can move him wherever I want. Havertz going forward, they've slowly been working him in. He's already shown himself to be have a nose for either scoring or assisting. Let's not forget, he hit the weight room and gained probably about 8 to 10 pounds of muscle.
It looks like he lost a little bit of it. It looks like he put a bunch on and then
he's
slimmed
lost
down
a little
again.
bit with the injury. Either way,
just was running.
Havertz, I think, has been so hungry to get back on the pitch. If I was wildcarding, and I would absolutely probably have at least 2 defenders and/or Raya and a defender, and I tell you what, it might be a little bit of a bold move, but I probably would go Havertz.
He's probably the biggest beneficiary of the Marino injury now that I'm thinking about it. There's even more roles he can play.
Correct, exactly. Because Marino's the other Swiss Army knife. That's why Arteta loved him, because he could move Marino around, and Havertz and Marino are sort of symbiotic in the way that they play. Therefore, you're right, Travis. It's a good call.
So Havertz in Europe and in that EFL Cup game looked like a different player completely than who played in the Premier League this weekend, because he looked terrible in the league. Like, he looked lost. He looked not fit. He looked confused. He looked soft.
But not in the Cup game.
Not in the Cup and not in Europe. And he scored in both of those.
Right, correct.
And so that's what I'm saying. I saw that he scored in Europe, and I was like, this is it. I even recommended somebody to bet a goal.
Yeah,
from Havertz, and then he looked like trash in the league. And then he goes out into the EFL Cup and scores the winner. I don't get it. Is that? Am I misreading that? Because I thought he looked terrible in the league. And if that's the case, what the frick is going on with that?
I'm saying that, and I understand that given how good Declan Rice has been, that's a highly contrarian. It is like a differential on purpose choice to go Havertz and not two defenders, Raya, defender, Declan.
Yeah.
Because Declan Rice, I mean, you're saying you want to sell him, and it's mostly because the returns just haven't been there.
They have just
dried up.
Who's kicking the corners?
Madueke when Saka's out on one side and Declan on the other. Declan's still
free
kicking
kicks?
corners.
What are the chances in the double game week?
Gyökeres probably.
Gyökeres is probably taking penalties if Saka's not on the pitch.
And if Gyökeres isn't on the pitch? Rice has taken them.
Kai Havertz.
Havertz might.
No, Odegaard.
Or Odegaard, but Odegaard, I'm telling you, he's missed some starts.
Rice is a check down. Anyways, but yeah, okay, that makes sense.
The point is, I'm saying if you're going to have
Rice hasn't pointed in 4 weeks.
What are the chances of
that's he hit the threshold?
Is there any chance that in a double game week with that much rest time that Rice does not play 180 minutes? How
Rice
far
is playing both games?
Right, how far
against
ahead?
Wolves? You think he?
I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, they're
as long as
Sunderland at Brentford.
As long as
no, I'm sorry, they're at Brentford at Wolves.
As long as your defenders are fit, those three at least, Gabriel, Saliba, Timber. There's no reason they're coming out.
Correct.
Calafiori finally got his minutes again.
Yep.
So if it's an easing back in or if it's straight back to starting
but
again,
I would
you
still,
could go back
to
that back four.
I would go with two of the other three.
Right. I'm not suggesting. Yeah, I'm just saying like those three. Raya's the safest because you know for sure he's but I would think you would want to have more of a goal threat and less of I hope he gets a save point. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
His ceiling feels like 6.
Ryan just doesn't see a ton of shots. He doesn't see a ton of saves. He's not going to hit the save. He's not going to get you extra points from saves.
Good for him because he's
not going to get extra points for saves.
Yeah.
Arsenal gives up. I mean, Brian, are they on track for like a record level of shots on target allow? It really is.
Like
it's
low.
That's what I'm saying. A couple weeks ago when we did it, they had 30 fewer shots allowed than the next closest team, and it was like 50 to 80.
Right.
Like
that's right. I remember that.
Second place was 80 something, and
for sure.
Arsenal was in the 50s.
All right,
which is crazy. Declan Rice, for what it's worth, even with the no returns, he has scored 2 goals in 2026.
Right.
So it's not like he hasn't. It was that one game.
It's just the last 4 weeks he hasn't given you a return.
13 chances created, 0 assists on an XA of 1.77.
Just underachieving.
That's wildly unlucky.
Yeah.
Where did I go? Oh, phone died.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
It's all right. It's fine.
The only person to create.
We're about 6 minutes away from ending the pod.
The only person with more.
We can go faster than that.
The only person with more chances created in the calendar year, so since the start of 2026, is Bruno Fernandes.
Really?
17,
so Declan's second.
17 chances created for Bruno, 13 for Declan, second most.
Interesting.
And I'm saying even on 20, like he scored 27 points, which is still okay. It's not like, I mean, I know the last 4 games hasn't been there, but to me, I'm saying I wouldn't be like, oh, I got to get rid of him. I got to swap him out for another Arsenal player or go for somebody else. I'm just like, the numbers are still great. He's still shooting about what you'd want.
It's
7 shots total, 4 shots on target. That's totally fine. What are the chances Madueke plays? It's the same number of shots as Saka has taken, for what that's worth. I know Saka hasn't played a ton of minutes.
Saka's been underachieving in the last multiple weeks.
But
Saka's been underachieving for a while, according to his normal.
On your team, I know Arsenal's not like shooting the roof off. Is that how they say it? I think that's one of the
roof off.
Yes.
Shooting the roof off.
Yes.
Shooting the roof.
The
off.
most shots in the last 5 games for Arsenal is Gabriel Jesus. He's 8
goal threat.
8 shots is
Gabriel
the highest
Jesus.
of any Arsenal player in the last 5 games.
Hey, he's been he's looked better than he has in the last 2 years. Maybe when he's come on, he's a different player. He's been a different player.
What are the chances of Madueke playing
this week?
60 minutes
This weekend?
No, not even
during the double
not
game
even
week?
Wigan, but the double game week. What are the chances of him getting 60 and 60?
It's all about Saka at that point. Yeah, we don't know enough.
We don't
Wouldn't
know
go
enough.
there.
We don't
Okay.
know enough. Yeah, I wouldn't do it in a wild card. I would not bring Madueke in on a wild card. I got to know more information about Saka.
But Gabriel, Rice, Saliba, your top scoring players. Is there a reason for you to even consider Zubamendi?
No.
He's extremely cheap.
No.
Okay.
Not in my opinion.
Fun.
The stable is small. I wouldn't even think that you would go. I mean, what if Saliba ends up being the top scorer? That'd be perfect.
What's interesting is, would you want? So, as I'm thinking about possibly wild carding, and because there's a Friday matchup, and we're recording this on Thursday, this is a really quick turnaround here. So my thought is if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to wild card, it needs to happen pretty quickly.
You'll be doing it. You'll be going home and doing it before you lay your head down on your pillow.
So then the other thought is the reason for doing it is this is match week 24. I guess I technically could do it next week in match week 25.
It's the wrong chord.
But I could wild card in 25 and then bench boost in 26 or triple captain in 26. That's going to be the choice, right? Do you dare captain Gabriel in match week 26? Do you triple captain Gabriel in match week 26? Or do you bench boost? Because, Brian, great point. The other matchups for the other top teams are really good that week. So, in other words, if you wild card with the intent of kind of setting up for match week 26 to bench boost, where you have a fully loaded team.
And not only that, I mean, it's similar principle to bench boosting in game week 1 at the beginning of the season. Now that you're reloaded with all of your kind of restocked with chips, there's always, I know we say it every year, that last week is goals on goals. There are goals every match. There is no defense, depending on what the title race is, depending on what Europe looks like. But there's way more scoring that last week historically than most other weeks of the year. But the opposite side of the coin is you just don't know as much. Like, you know the most about the rosters in game week 38, almost more than any other week of the season except game week 1. The thing is, do you really want to wait for game week 38 when you have no idea if your chips are gone, if your players are injured? Planning that far ahead seems crazy. Where now, I'm just saying, like, similar to bench boosting in game week 1, right now you have a pretty good idea of who's going to be out there.
Right.
So you know what your team mostly can look like, and I think everyone hates the bench boost chip. Getting it out of the way, just not having it. So you're not worrying about it later. You could look down through. I'm sure there are other weeks where you could say, "Oh man, the top teams, the top, so-called top teams, all have really great fixtures or whatever." And there are other weeks where there's lots of green. Game week 28 is another really good one, but like. This week, game week 26, with the double game week for Arsenal, I think the bench boost
could be nice.
Yeah.
Could be nice. All right. Very good. Gentlemen, night moves. I've already made my move this week. I sold Thiago and brought in Ekitike as he seemed to be absolutely torching Newcastle this past weekend. So that was my move. I'm probably not going to take a hit. And going in for the captaincy this week, I think I am. Oh, geez, what did I do here? I clicked the wrong thing. Oh, here we go. I am going to captain. Goodness gracious, why not just keep it on Bruno, home to Spurs? I think that's probably where I'll go, unless I wild card and something else pops up, but. United home to Spurs doesn't scare me, especially with the defense that Spurs is putting out there. And United's been wicked hot. So give me Bruno as captain this week. Travis, night moves. Coming off a wild card.
I am not going to make any moves. I'm going to save my transfer for next week for the double game week just to make sure that I'm set.
Okay. That.
I think a lot of people are going to move away from Holland, so I think I'm going to stay with him on the captain.
Okay.
Against Liverpool, I like that.
Okay. Wow, going against your team. Brian, night moves.
I have a Reece James problem, and I have a Dorgu problem. I also mostly have a Diogo Dalot problem.
Smells like a wild card.
So I've got 3 spots.
Do you have 2 transfers or 1?
I still have a Dubravka problem. I had my 2 transfers again a couple weeks ago, and I said last week I made the Dorgu mistake. Yeah. Bruno and Dorgu in place of 2 guys that I can't remember right this.
So you're on 1 again.
So I'm back to 1 regular transfer. If I had the money, it would have been Reece James out for Timber, but I don't have the money to do that.
I can't believe you don't own him.
I can only afford Gabriel right now. So that would be the question. If I ended up doing that, Thiago's there's not enough of a gap even to go from. I was looking at Thiago to do the actual move to Havertz. Yeah. And it won't work.
Thiago's not a bad own against Newcastle right now.
No, I'm not worried about it. It would be more of, I would have to bench someone, possibly Harry Wilson, maybe Morgan Rogers. Might bench one of those guys in place of Thiago away to Newcastle. Or I just bench Haaland. Bench Haaland again and let Semenyo do all the hard work. Captain currently still on Bruno Fernandes. I like that. Manchester United at home against a weird Spurs team.
Romero and Van de Ven are back. That doesn't mean a ton because they're still a little leaky, but that does change things, I think, a little bit.
And Cunha, same thing. That just the attack of Manchester United against the Spurs defense of any kind to me is like that. I hope that game is wide open. But no, I'm not sure what to do. Like it stinks because this was like Chelsea at Wolves is one of the reasons why everyone was moving to Chelsea in all kinds of different ways. Anyway, I wish Reece James was not injured out for that game. But what are you going to do? It finally happened where he actually has a yellow triangle and a manager saying, I don't know if we want to risk it. So, don't know what to do with João Pedro. Don't know what to do with almost anything. There are 2.
Pedro?
I don't. But again, the value pick is of the people I have is Ekitike, and there's no way Ekitike is going out.
Right.
Okay. So it would have to be moving Thiago to Krupi, Thiago to kind of a crap third guy until I wild card, and I just don't know if I want to do that this week. There's not really a reason.
Captaining.
Captain's still in Bruno.
Okay. All right, very good.
I don't hate the captain on if you have the Chelsea guy. It would have worked out in the last minute again on Enzo.
Yeah.
If you had Enzo.
Yeah.
There's no reason it can't work out again this week.
Enzo's a one Chelsea midfielder that I think is nailed down safe.
Yeah.
It, especially with their upcoming schedule, is worth it.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, gentlemen, good work. I think we did a pretty good job at summarizing this week, talking about things, points, and people you need to look at. Don't forget to give Alex Scott a look. Wish me luck, as I probably will be wildcarding. And if not, we'll discuss it next week for the FPL America podcast. This is David Smith. Until next time.